I really like him, and I would tell you if I didn't. And by the way, I think at a certain point, everyone would. I love him. You know, he's a good friend of mine. He's a good guy. A lot of people have asked me for pardons. I haven't seen him. I haven't spoken to him in years.
Just weeks after Diddy was sentenced, TMZ reported that his lawyers had reached out to Trump to reach out for a pardon. And according to reports by the White House, Trump was seriously considering pardoning Diddy. Well, Trump has just given an interview to the New York Times where he made it clear that Diddy won't be getting a pardon. Diddy and Trump aren't friends anymore. But the real reason that Diddy isn't getting a pardon is shocking. And like always, 50 Cent is involved.
Diddy, he was a good friend of yours back then. He has since found himself in some very serious legal trouble.
Yeah, that's true.
Would you ever consider pardoning him?
Well, nobody's asked. You had to be the one to ask, Peter, but nobody's asked. But I know people are thinking about it. I know they're thinking about it. I think some people have been very close to asking. And first of all, I look at what's happening, and I haven't been watching it too closely, although it's certainly getting a lot of coverage. I haven't seen him. I haven't spoken to him in years. He used to really like me a lot. I think when I ran for politics, he sort of, that relationship busted up. From what I read, I don't know, he didn't tell me that, but I'd read some little bit nasty statements in the paper all of a sudden. You know, it's different. You become a much different person when you run for politics and you do what's right. I could do other things, and I'm sure he'd like me, and I'm sure other people would like me, but it wouldn't be as good for our country. As we said, our country's doing really well because of what we're doing. So it's not a popularity contest. So, I don't know, I would certainly look at the facts. If I think somebody was mistreated, whether they like me or don't like me, it wouldn't have any impact on me.
Diddy has been close friends with multiple U.S. presidents. Obama, Bill Clinton, and even Trump were all friends with Diddy and have been photographed at his parties. Why was Diddy so close to some of the most powerful people in America? Well, according to Gone Deal, Diddy was always looking for leverage. He was trying to position himself close to them so he could use them. Let's be honest, you don't ask a former president for a pardon unless you genuinely believe you have leverage. Nobody makes that call just to see what happens. That's a move you make when you think your relationship is worth something.
And I want to apologize for not sweating, but I do this so much. I'm so cool. I just want y'all to see everybody I'm interviewing is sweating. I'm not even touching my brow. I'm so cool, and I want to apologize. I ain't trying to make you look bad or nothing like that, but I'm just so cool. We
a t-shirt. I tell you, if he was wearing one of those fancy designer clothes he's designing, he'd be sweating just like me.
The guy's good. The guy's good, y'all. Let's give it up for him.
I appreciate you guys.
Peace.
And Diddy's friendship with Trump didn't end there. Diddy supported Trump all the way up to his first presidential campaign. After Diddy was arrested, Trump even said that he believed that Diddy was innocent and that he was going to look into the matter. This event was back in August. And by then, Diddy hadn't even asked for a pardon.
President Trump now clarifies his comments during an interview with Newsmax on August 1st.
Sean Diddy Combs.
Right.
Would you consider pardoning him?
Well, he was essentially, I guess, sort of half innocent.
Yeah.
I don't know what they do. He's still in jail or something. But, he was celebrating a victory, but he seems, I guess it wasn't as good as a victory. Probably, you know, I was very friendly with him. I got along with him great. And seemed like a nice guy. I didn't know him well. But when I ran for office, he was very hostile.
He said some not so nice things about you.
Yeah, and it's hard, you know, like you and human beings.
Right.
And we don't like to have things cloud our judgment, right? But when you knew someone and you were fine, and then you run for office and he made some terrible statements. So, I don't know, it's more difficult. It makes it more, I'm being honest, it makes it more difficult to do.
But more likely a no for Combs,
I would say so.
I think it's wild that Diddy ever thought he could get away with crimes. But apparently Diddy was so confident that Trump would pardon him that he actually started telling all of the inmates around him at Fort Dix that it was only a matter of time before he got out. Diddy was acting like he had Trump in the palm of his hand. Talk about being overconfident.
Don't you hate people that don't know when to shut the hell up? Now look, it's this Diddy thing. Look what he's saying now. Diddy been running around Fort Dix, bragging about Trump is supposed to be pardoning him early next year. This is what he's telling the inmate. Let me tell you why he's telling him that. And I don't like it. See, Diddy think he's slick. See, Diddy know they on his ass, and he trying to figure out between washing clothes and all this other shit, trying to figure out how he can stay cool and stay protected. Well, this is why. This is how. What if I told you sources inside the prison are telling us Diddy is letting fellow inmates know he will take care of them? Why? Because he wants them up. And he's gonna do that when he's pardoned and set free. So you kind of feel me where this is going. Lucky for Diddy, he don't know when to shut up because he may have had a chance to have a pardon if he was shut the hell up. Now, if Trump was gonna pardon him in early 2026, that's over now because he done put it all out there to the world instead of just keeping quiet. What if I told you?
TMZ reported that Diddy was bragging about being cool with Trump and how Trump would let him out. And when 50 Cent found out, he wasn't having any of it. No one hates Diddy more than 50. And 50 decided that he was going to make it his life's mission to make sure that Diddy didn't get a pardon. 50 started posting all over his social media, tagging Trump and saying that he shouldn't pardon Diddy.
Diddy had been photographed with Trump over the years. There was some sort of relationship there. President Trump even called him a good friend on a 2012 episode of his TV show The Apprentice. Problem is, some comments Diddy made about Trump in recent years as Diddy really entered the political realm. There's a video where he's speaking to radio host Charlemagne saying, if Trump gets elected, I really do believe in my heart there'll be a race war. In another video on Revolt, he says white men like Trump need to be banished. And by the way, you know who's not letting anyone forget this? Combs' rival 50 Cent. Took to social media recently, wrote, see, Trump don't like S like this, buddy. You run your mouth too much. And Donald doesn't take well to disrespect and doesn't forget who chooses to go against him. While working tirelessly to make America great again, there is no room for distraction. He would consider pardoning anyone who is being mistreated, not Puff Daddy. Let me tell you, the idea of Trump pardoning Diddy is not getting a ton of love out there.
And around this same time, Diddy's team confirmed that Diddy had talked directly to President Trump. Conversations were happening. And when someone at Diddy's level admits that publicly, it's usually because they believe the conversation went well, or at least that it could be spun that way.
John Diddy Combs, his attorneys, gives her first interview since his conviction last month, and she's giving an answer to what's been largely speculated about. Will Diddy get a pardon? Watch.
Have people in Sean Combs' orbit, have they had conversations with the Trump administration?
Yes. My understanding is that we have reached out.
Reached out is one thing. Having a conversation is another. Do you know if there have been active conversations about a pardon?
Yes, it's my understanding that we've reached out and had conversations in reference to a pardon.
President Trump, when he was asked about this pardon, he said, quote, I was very friendly with him. I got along with him great, and he seemed like a nice guy. I didn't know him well, but when I ran for office, he was very hostile. And the president indicated that a pardon is likely not on the table because of that break in his relationship with Mr. Combs years ago. How is he feeling now about the chances of a pardon given the president's commentary?
I think that Mr. Combs is a very hopeful person. And I believe that he remains hopeful.
The biggest obstacle in Diddy's way wasn't even his charges. It was 50 Cent. 50 knew that the only way he could stop Diddy from getting away with his crimes was by making sure his trial got as much attention as possible. Diddy couldn't pull any of his shady tricks if the entire world was watching.
But he's gonna have to go through the process first, because I don't think Trump is gonna show him any special favors for him not going through the process. So if Trump said that he may pardon him, he might still have to do a year, 9 months, or even longer than that. And I don't believe he is. I think 50 gonna be right there in his ear. And I think 50 is closer than Trump than Diddy is. You know, if that's the president and he want to use his power to pardon Diddy, you understand? As long as he do his due process and go through where he's supposed to go through, I don't have no problem with that. Do I want him out? No, I don't give a shit. But I think that he should do the time he's supposed to do. Whatever that might be.
Just last month, Trump confirmed that Diddy had reached out to him. And right after that, guess what happened? 50 Cent announced that he was going to call Trump personally and ask him to not pardon Diddy. Like, Diddy cannot get away from 50 Cent. 50 Cent has been working overtime just to stop Diddy.
50 Cent don't give a damn. He don't give a damn. He literally is saying he's going to reach out to Trump to remind Trump of the things that P. Diddy has said about him for the sole express purposes of making sure that Trump doesn't pardon Diddy in the event that Diddy gets convicted of trafficking and racketeering. That's what 50 Cent has sworn to do. And I gotta admit to you, that's wild. Damn, you know you got an enemy there when the man want to go out of his way to contact the president, and clearly he has some kind of inroads where he can get to President Trump so President Trump can hear him. He's basically saying, yo, brother need to go down.
And to make sure that everyone knew how dangerous Diddy is, 50 Cent released his Netflix documentary Sean Combs, The Reckoning. This documentary became the most viral documentary that Netflix had ever put out and even beat Stranger Things. 50 has even been nominated for an award. Now,
a new Netflix docuseries about Sean Diddy Combs is making headlines for its never-before-seen footage of the music mogul in the days before his arrest. Now, Combs is threatening legal action against the streamer for airing the unauthorized footage. Behind the series is Combs' longtime rap rival 50 Cent and director Alexandria Stapleton, who sat down with NBC News' Chloe Malas ahead of tonight's release.
Tonight, Netflix releasing never-before-seen video. Sean Diddy Combs filmed just days before his arrest on charges of sex trafficking and racketeering in 2024. The footage is part of a 4-part docuseries, Sean Combs: The Reckoning, premiering Tuesday. Behind the explosive documentary is Combs' longtime rival, Curtis 50 Cent Jackson, and director Alexandria Stapleton. How did you get that footage of Diddy?
I think most journalists would not disclose this person.
The recordings give viewers an intimate look at Combs' mindset ahead of his criminal trial, even conversations with his legal team. Does he know y'all have this in the doc?
I would doubt he knows.
So when this airs, that'll be the first time that his legal team, Diddy, that everybody knows that this footage is now seeing the light of day. Perhaps. What was he intending to use it for?
I have no idea.
I mean, you're talking about a man who filmed himself doing everything and has for decades. I think he wanted someone to be behind the scenes with him.
This documentary sealed Diddy's fate the day it came out. It ruined his reputation and destroyed any credibility that he was left with. Suddenly, everyone knew that Diddy was more than just an abuser. He was also responsible for the murder of Tupac Shakur and Biggie Smalls, two of the biggest names in hip-hop history. Now, the New York Times just reported that Diddy wrote a letter to President Trump seeking a pardon. Mr. Trump said he is not considering granting the request.